Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, you guys were saying that I haven't done no response videos in a while because it gives me an opportunity to respond to your comments and answer any questions that you guys might have. So let's go ahead and get caught up on a couple of them. As usual, always look forward to these. It gives me an idea of what kind of people I'm talking to. All right, so let's move forward. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Miles Franklin. The link will be down below in the description. When you make your purchase, make sure you use promo code PIMPY, P-I-M-P-Y, and they'll take care of you. If you have any additional questions, you can reach us over here at this phone number or over here at this particular email. For all orders over $10,000, reach out by email and we'll make sure that you get a great deal. So come on over to Miles Franklin and add to your precious metal inventory. All right, let's respond to the one with misinformation, because this was a good video actually. So let's go ahead and respond to your comments. Facts on the table, Pimpy. So great to hear you wiping out the crooked gurus. Yeah, I mean, I've done this for a while. Before, in the past, here's the thing. I never used to call anybody out by name. I just responded to the question. But I said this before, when people start killing themselves over the information that's being put out there, now I do respond to individuals directly, just because what they're doing is really damaging to their listeners, in my opinion. Looks like this will never end. Well, you hope it ends, but I doubt it. Thanks for touching on that. You are very welcome. Thank you for your amazing explanation and honesty. You are number one. We'll follow. Thank you. I appreciate that. This guy knows the guy who knows the guy who has the secret codes. You must mean the code man. Yes, we've been hearing about that guy for a long time. If I remember correctly, Mike Cantrell is, he's no hippie. I'm waiting for the class action suit, Mark Z. Was he saying that there's one coming or one against him? So who knows? I mean, I think it was Melanie said the same thing. She's going to have the State Department or somebody like that come after us. Or me. But yeah. Whatever. You notice it hasn't happened because they lie. Australia has had polymer notes for years. Is that right? The ones that I have, I showed you guys. I think I showed you guys the ones I have. But I have those. It was a gift from a lady that listens to me. It was very nice of her to send those to me. They're absolutely beautiful. They have been good for endurance, wear and tear. They are printed on a side of plastic tube, then vulcanized and shrunk to size sheets. This adds to the security features. However, another country counterfeited our 50 note. Is that right? Another country did? That's terrible, man. We can tell this because they started life as $5 notes due to the polymer markers on plastic. And we know which country did this, but overall it has reduced fake notes. If another country itself was counterfeiting, it's one thing to have a counterfeiter do this, but a country is more likely to have the tools to do that. Yeah, that's crazy. You guys know who did it? I hope they made a big scene about it over in your country and let everybody know. And that should embarrass that country, at least you hope. IQD Pimpy, hello from a gator that's been stranded in MD, in Northern Gator, Alabama. The Army nailed my tail here. Is that right? Well, I appreciate you for serving our country. Hopefully you're safe. Beautiful dollars, these gurus are pretty arrogant. If anyone told anybody about the exchanges, they would be arrested. So anyone says that they know a special person that has the inside scoop is straight up lying. I agree with Pimpy. Yeah, that's the thing that gets me, is people believe these so-called gurus. You know, like, oh, they got this incel person that's got the codes, or person that's, you know, working in the central bank of Iraq, and they know. No, they don't. That's major, major punishment. So yeah, Crystal, I agree with you. Jordan says, nobody knows what they are talking about, even Iraq government. I posted an article that had Al-Sadani mentioning he's a fan of me, and people lost their mind. Sup, Pimpy? Lies are so much more exciting than the truth. It's normal to gravitate to helplessness, even if it may not be true, especially when you have financial issues and troubles in your life. We all get it. Peace, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've mentioned this before. That's one of the reasons why I have an issue with what they do by misleading people, because there are people out there that need help. I get that 100%. all they're doing is driving you up a hopium and letting you down over and over and over, and this leads to some people committing suicide. I spoke about that many times, and that's what I don't like. Uncle Long says, doesn't matter how fantasy it looks and sounds, at the end of the day, I suggest you better wake up and get your ass back to work, make a living. Those fake hopelessness ain't paying the bills. I can guarantee you that. Yeah, I hear that. If you're a person who's quit your job because of something a guru said, thinking that, this dinar was going to revalue the following weekend, yeah, that's a bad situation, man. So I hope that's not true, but I get what Unk's saying here. Just don't quit your job until the money's actually in your account. With all due respect, Dr. Shabibi uses words we as Americans won't use. Something to consider. I'm not sure what words he would use that we won't use. I wish you'd have gave some examples because I'm wondering what words that Dr. Shabibi would use that we wouldn't use. People complained about how they had a hard time understanding them. Yeah, you got to slow him down a little bit and understand that English is not his primary language. I believe it's Farsi that he speaks because he's got to convert the words from Farsi to English in his head and then say them. You know what I mean? So for some people, it's really hard if English is not your primary language. Canada has been printing polymer bills for years. I got to look your guys' currency up. I wonder if it looks as fancy as those notes. The notes that they showed as an example, the details are beautiful. I mean, absolutely gorgeous bills. Exactly. I've screamed 1,003 times every time that not so original Mark Z says, let me do a deep dive on that one. Yeah, I think it's funny that they say that all of them do that. Well, they don't care to do the deep dive. Well, I did a deep dive. If you know anything about what they're talking about, you know damn well they've never ever done a deep dive in their life. If they did, then they're lying to you or misleading you, or they have no clue what the hell they're talking about. He's never deep dives on a doggone thing. Never. I certainly appreciate you at least mansplaining to us and your conversations with currency with a twist, dude. At least some questions get asked and answered. Tread on my pimpster. I appreciate that. Yeah, I try to come back and respond to your videos. Sometimes I don't do it for a little bit, but then I come back and try to get caught up. And this is my way of interacting with you. It's more, for me, it's easier to do it this way than going down and responding to everybody's comments, because that could take a while. But at least this way here, you can watch the video and I can explain it that way. Thanks, P. Appreciate it. Very welcome. Andrew's back. Pimpy, just be blunt and tell us what you really think is the most one can gain from this investment. Make it simple. If someone holds $1 million, what is the most one can get from the amount over the next several years? Be blunt. I've been blunt about this. So if you have a $1 million, it just depends on how long you hold it. So if, let's say, it starts to go up in increments, like I think it's going to happen, you have to look at your $1 million and think to yourself, am I going to be happy with the current exchange rate? It really just depends on when it gets to a rate that you like. As long as they can stay out of conflict, continue moving forward like they have with reform, getting back into the World Trade Organization, showing back up on the Forex, these things are very important on giving the value to the Iraqi dinar. Simple. If you drop the zeros, you have a 25 dinar bill that's only exchangeable in Iraq. Well, okay, so let's put it this way. If you talk about the deletions of the zeros, it'll go from a 25,000 dinar down to a 25. It'll start in country and then work its way out. So eventually we'll get them. That's what I said all along. A 25,000 dinar note will be a 25 note. No one will become rich. Too good to be true. 99% of the time, it probably is. It's a scam. Only people getting rich is the dinar sellers. The Iraqi government can delete the zeros, taking your 25,000 dinar note down to a 25 note, and then make a major change to the exchange rate. That's a possibility. What we're hoping for is that it goes up in increments and it keeps going and they keep the zeros on. So is Militia Man saying that if you don't pay for his Patreon, that you can't exchange? I don't know if he said that, but he says he's got some Patreon that has all kinds of research papers, and in there in his database, you can put in certain words and look up different articles in there. And in there, he swears up and down that it talks about the deletion of the zeros is off the exchange rate, which is no such thing. Okay, just so you guys understand. I believe he rambles because he can talk for about an hour, and I have no clue what the hell he says most of the time. I listen to a couple of minutes and just go to something else because it sounds like the same stuff as the day before Whereas negative, Pimpy, I understand everything. Negative. It's not negative. The funny thing is, when I talk to people, I say, what did I say? It's negative. They always go, I go, what did I say that was negative? You mean I tell you guys the truth? That's not negative. That's just being honest. There's a huge difference. Yeah, I mean, I could literally go through and make a compilation of listening to him talk for several minutes, and everything he says makes no sense. Yeah, I've offered Militia Man and Mark and any of those other gurus a chance to come on, or I could go on their show, or they can come on mine, and we can have a respectful conversation about why the hell they think that the deletion of the zeros are off the exchange rate, but they're not going to come on the show. Bruce saying 800,000 emails going out. This from some guy on the audio-only podcast that's been 100% wrong for 13 years. Dang, that's crazy. I forgot which guru it is, but one of them has this, you call in, there's a small fee, and you can listen to these recordings of them in case you missed their broadcast. I was like, why? They can just come to the video and listen. Why should they pay for it? I tell people this all the time. You come here and get information for free. Let YouTube pay for it, not you. Looks like I lost some money. I'm sorry to hear that. Listening to these guys, while marginally entertaining, causing me to lose a few more IQ points. Holy shit. Hi, P. Hi, Jen. Mark Z did a deep dive, and he landed on his head. Malignant Man's Patreon selling info that's free. How many different ways can you say stupid? Why are you guys paying for information that you can get for free? Seriously. But this time it's different. We are so close, but yet don't chase the date. Yeah. Some of them are at least getting better at that, as far as trying not to give you a date because they keep getting called out on it. Yeah, that was funny. But God told Melanie Hines it's done. Yeah, Melanie's starting to do that a whole lot more. She's full of crap. God told me to tell you this. God told me to tell you that. She's hearing voices in her head. So if I understand what you're saying, it's a lop. $25,000 will be $25, right or wrong. A lop is when you remove the zeros, just like you pointed out, but it's a 25,000 dinar, not dollars. Trust me, I used to do the same thing. You say dollars all the time, and then I had a friend named Nate that was constantly correcting me. So 25,000 dinar would be a 25 dinar. Yes, that would be correct. If you like my opinion, I believe Christmas 2024, if you believe in Kim Clement, all of what he said has come true. He talks about the summer, fall, and winter seasons. If you listen, anyone will prosper around Christmas. Well, that would be nice. The seasons have nothing to do with the currency. Well, Rain, hopefully we get a good Christmas present this year. We'll see. So what is needed for this investment to be profitable? So what we need for this investment to be profitable? Well, we need them to get back on the Forex. We need them to be part of the World Trade Organization. We need them to change the exchange rate without lopping off the zeros first. That will work. Pimpy, are you saying that Mark Z lied again? Intel from a guy in a wheelchair that looks like a gay pirate? I don't know if Mike Control is in a wheelchair, is he? Somebody was telling me that he knows him and that he's an old hippie. So I didn't know he was in a wheelchair. Don't start saying you know better than President Trump said is fact. What did Trump say was a fact? I don't know. I wish when you guys leave a comment, you elaborate more. What you should have said on here is, Trump said that blah, blah, blah. That would have helped out because I don't know what Trump said. So I don't like when you're doing that. Again, please elaborate a little bit more. Maria Nicole, you're clueless, bro. I think Andy knows a bit more than you. Sorry, I believe Andy. Andy who? Andy at the beginning of the video? No, he don't know more than I do. Yeah, that's a good question. Who is Andy? Andy Shipman?
Huh?
I never said anything about Andy Shipman. That's not who I was talking about. And I know who Andy is. I work with him with Miles Franklin. Pimpy, I think you found a Mark Z spy. That, or she's misunderstanding who I'm talking about, but I never said anything about him. I know Andy. I respect him, Chris Marcus, Lynette Zhang, James from SD Bullion. I like Ralphie. These are guys that I respect in that particular field because they are experts. I would never challenge Andy Shipman's knowledge when it comes to precious metals. There's no way in hell. But that's not who I'm talking about. The Andy at the beginning of that video is a different Andy altogether. For those of us who are invested into the Iraqi stock exchange, he's the gentleman that's spearheading that. Isn't this what the gurus say all the time? Well, now that Obama's in there, everything's going to change. It's going to revalue because he owns Iraqi dinar. Nope. Then when Trump gets in there, goes, oh yeah, now the IQD is going to revalue because Trump owns dinar and he's in office. Nope. Oh, now everything's going to revalue because Biden's in there. He owns dinar. Nope. They just keep lying to you. Don't fall for it. And the reason why people feel so discouraged and upset is because of the lies and the misinformation coming from those other content creators. Anyways, I hope that helps. I look forward to hearing from you again, and I'll get back at you later. I'm out.